In this tabletop review, I'm going to be discussing the AR15 Scraper tool made by Real Avid. This is a tool specifically designed for cleaning bolt carrier group surfaces. This item runs around $15 or so. If you have a lot of, if you have one AR-15 or if you have a lot of AR-15s, cleaning the bolt carrier group can be tedious, to say the least. Even with wire brush, it's tough to get a wire brush into some of these crevices and get baked on fouling removed from these areas. So there have been a few different companies that have come out with tools. I haven't tried them all, so I'm going to try and try as many as I possibly can. As long as they're reasonably priced, and since this one's reasonably priced, this is going to be the first one that I'm going to give it a shot. So this is the packaging. It's a retail hang tag type of packaging. If you were to look at this in a store, you can scan this code over here with your cell phone, assuming you have that capability with your cell phone. If you scan this, it will take you to a YouTube video showing how the tool works, which is kind of nice, a nice feature to have on the packaging. The packaging basically says removes heavy fouling faster, easier than brushes and solvent. Brushes and solvent is definitely not an easy way to remove fouling on a bolt carrier group. I can speak to that from experience. Keeps an AR-15 firing reliably. Non-hardened stainless steel to prevent marring. That's good. Scrapes 12 bolt carrier group surfaces. Cartridge extractor, firing pin, a small diameter plus a firing pin, large diameter. Bolt tail shoulder, inside bolt tail, bolt waist, bolt cam pin, bolt face, bolt lugs, 2 surfaces inside bolt carrier. The rear let's see. The AR15 Scraper saves cleaning time by removing built-up fouling fast. It's precision made to match 12 surfaces on all 4 major parts of the bolt carrier group: the bolt carrier, bolt cam pin, and firing pin. You can also use the cartridge extractor scraping point to pull the bolt carrier group cotter pin and use the 1/4-inch bit driver with your current toolkit bits. So that's pretty flexible and pretty cool. It looks like it's made in China. Real Avid is from Plymouth, Minnesota, I believe. So that's pretty much, there's a little diagram back here on the back. If you do buy one of these, you can use this diagram to kind of figure out what parts of the tool are designed to go into each part of your bolt carrier group. So let me open this up and we'll take a look at it, and we'll just talk about the actual tool first. I do have a bolt carrier down here, so I'll try to demonstrate the functionality of the tool on an actual bolt carrier group. Okay, on the back of the package there's a dotted line for cutting out the instructions, and they make a recommendation that you should cut out the instructions and hang on to them so you know how to use the tool. I'm going to hang on to that. The tool itself, got a plastic handle, and then the actual tool flips over. Right off the bat, what would be really, what I'm noticing here is these surfaces are kind of sharp, and this is not so much, but there are some sharp edges here because this is part of the scraping tool. Right off the bat, what I would like to see is I would like to see this entire tool covered in a plastic sheath or something. Having this kick around inside of a bag with these sharp edges could definitely fray nylon if you're carrying this in a tactical pack or a range bag. I've had other tools with sharp edges that are not protected in bags, and I've had a few of them punch holes and cut some of the threading on the inside of bags and so on. So that's I kind of knew that was a drawback right when I saw this tool. Maybe for the second gen they could add some sort of a cover on the rest of this. So we've got some texturing right here on this plastic handle. Also right here on the plastic handle is a little tab. So when you flip this over, it kind of locks into place. So while you're using it, it's not going to pop out of the handle. So good design there. The bolt that holds this together, it looks like it takes a hex key. So it looks like some sort of maybe a female male type of bolt. So this is nice. It's not just a cheap pop rivet right here. It's a bolt. These surfaces are machined very well. Some of these surfaces are sharp. If you're not careful, you could definitely cut yourself or puncture your skin with these surfaces. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I can comment about the actual fit and finish. This looks pretty good for the money. Now, this is the 1/4 inch for using bits. Now, here's a 1/4 inch bit. Now, here's the issue I have with this. It doesn't hold the bit. So, although this is a nice feature, you know, it definitely would be nicer if there was some way to retain a bit. If I were to put a bit in here, you know, if there was a magnet or something that could hold the bit in, because you know, if you're going to use this with a bit to try and do something, it's fine if you get this started on the, let's say you got this on the screw right there, and then put this on and turned it, but you can't really lift this off and readjust the position without the bit falling out. So again, that's probably asking too much in this price range, but if I was to design a Gen 2, that's one of the things I would look at, is some sort of a mechanism for retaining a bit. It could just easily be a magnet right there, or it could have a captured little ball bearing or something where this pressure fits on there, it would hold it in place. So those are my two initial comments where I could see an improvement on this. So let's see, let's move on. I have a Spikes Tactical Bolt Carrier Group right here, which I'm going to use as an example. And let's see, what can we do without taking this apart first? If we look at the bolt lugs, I'm going to take the bolt carrier group apart, but since I've got the video running, we'll just see what I can demonstrate. The section right here is designated for cleaning bolt lugs. And we'll demonstrate that. It is a very good fit for cleaning these bolt lugs. So if there was fouling in there, any type of carbon buildup, this would do a good job of scraping it off. It scrapes all three surfaces. It scrapes this surface, it scrapes the bottom surface, and this surface. So it's machined to exacting standards, so you can clean three surfaces at once when you rub this through. So good there. The bolt face, this looks like this one is designed for doing the bolt face, and yeah, I can see that it would work good around the extractor and the ejector pin. So this would definitely work good for cleaning the bolt face. Now behind the cartridge extractor, they show this tipped point right here. they are right. This little curved surface right there does allow you to get in there to clean the extractor. Normally when I clean something like this, I strip the bolt apart and take the extractor off and clean it, but because I just couldn't really get into those areas. This tool allows you to get in there and scrape all around in there and remove the fouling. So those are basically the only areas I can demonstrate with the bolt carrier group put together. So I'm going to take this apart and we'll take a look at the other cleaning functionality. I believe they mentioned that the tip that's designed for the cleaning the cartridge extractor, or cleaning behind it, can be used for removing your pin. Let's see if you can actually get this in there. Yep, it will work just fine. So that will work for removing the pin. And okay. Excuse me for just a second. All these parts are oily. Clean them up just a bit. All right, so now these things won't be flying out of my fingers as I try to work with them. So let's look at the firing pin. Let's look at the firing pin first. You have the ability to clean large diameter firing pins or small diameter firing pins. This section right here is for the small firing pin area, and that's for the large diameter area of the firing pin. Yeah, it's machined and it fits very well. That works. Now, it didn't demonstrate cleaning of this area, which doesn't really get fouled too much, but you could use the large large section of this tool to clean in there. One of the things that I find that's difficult is getting the crud out that's right along in there. So you can stick that in there and just kind of twist the firing pin around and clean out the crud in there. So that works. The tool fits good in that area. And of course, let's make sure we don't lose that. Now for the cam pin, this large area right here is designed to clean the cam pin, and it does fit. Sometimes when stuff comes out of China, you just never know if it's going to fit correctly. I mean, what I'm seeing so far is something that's machined to some pretty good standards. Yeah, this works pretty good. So there's the bolt cam pin. Now the other end of this tool would appear, yeah, that is designed for cleaning these inside surfaces. Yeah, and that does appear to, well, there's no fouling inside there. If you can see anything come out on this, it's basically just oil. The tolerance is very tight. It is a smidgen loose. It's got to be a little loose to get in there, but it's definitely tight enough to get off any type of accumulated fouling that's inside there. Actually, I did get out a little bit of fouling that was way back in there that I missed during my last cleaning. As this, if you insert this all the way into the back, yeah, there's got a little bit of fouling in there that I missed with the last cleaning. So far so good. Let's move on to the actual bolt itself. So the bolt tail and the bolt tail shoulder I'm just kind of going off the instructions that come with this, just like you would if you bought this. This goes in like so. This is really nice. You can see the way this is cut. With that curvature right there, it gets right into that curve. And this is one area where a lot of crud builds up on your bolt, and it can be difficult to remove. You're going to sit and scrub it with a wire brush. So you're basically doing, yeah, it did get a little bit of crud off there. You're basically cleaning 3 different areas at once by doing this. You've got the inside area, you've got this outside, and then you've got this curvature area. So that fits well, and it definitely, I can see that it is cleaning a little bit of fouling off of the bolt. Now the bolt waist area, yeah, okay. You can see, well, hopefully you can see. I'm sorry if some of this gets out of focus. I got to constantly refocus the camera on the area I want you to be looking at. You can see this curvature right here fits right in the bolt waist. And what a sexy waist it is. So that will clean that area quite well. So those basically are the areas that are on the instructions here. Trying to think if I missed anything. No, I believe we've covered all of this functionality, all of the different cleaning surfaces. We did cover the back side of the bolt here, which I'll do again. And the bolt lug areas, and behind the extractor. So that's a little bit of a duplicate because I already did that ahead of time. I did that very first thing before I took the carrier apart. So I like this tool. Aside from the little drawbacks I mentioned already, this is money well spent, and I'm going to definitely keep this in my range bag. I know there's several other tools on the market. I'm going to try and get several of those and take a look at those as well. But so far, I really like this tool for the money. Again, that's the Real Avid AR15 Bolt Carrier Group Cleaner for roughly around $15, depending upon which reseller you get it from.